If it hurts, you ain't the brakes, no get you, don't let up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, 2 games after this win in. First you again, we're here for the first May. Carry block, you never 6 minutes.
Rocky Top, you'll always be. Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes,
all right.
It's day one, like I said, like I just told D-Rock. Hey, it's intensity from day one, from start to finish. Whistle to whistle blows to whistle in. All day, every day. I need everything you got. Everything out of you. All 15 days. Come on, man. Every practice. It starts right now. It's your time. It's your choice to be great. Let's pick that.
Yes, sir, man. Let's go, man.
Let's go. Tennessee on 2-1-2.
Tennessee!
To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
Let me just say one more thing. The standard at Tennessee is to be elite on defense. This is the home of Reggie White, Al Wilson, Eric Berry.
Make the decision. You're either a Vol or you're not, through thick and thin.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talking Vols and my guy Boogie Bentley runs. So shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. The boys are back together. Coach Jay is here. Foul Ming is in the house. Scrimmage number 2 is in the books. We're 15 days away, boys. 15 days. 15 days. Coach, how far are we away from game prep? Are we going to start sneaking into game prep next week? We're close. We're close.
You know what? They're already giving a little salt bay in practice. I promise a little salt bay throughout summer. There's different schemes and concepts as a coach that you want to incorporate early on, not only for Syracuse, but teams that you're looking at down the road. So there's always going to be some of that sprinkling, some of the little adjustments and tweaks that you've done to your system to better prepare for, what coaches brought to you last year, the problems they solved from your scheme, and, that constant spy versus spy of outdoing each other from a schematical standpoint. So they've definitely been sprinkling it in, and it will get nothing but heavier and heavier now that the second scrimmage is in the books. You're going to go from a salt bay sprinkle to a full-on salt pack of that pork butt.
Well, we're 15 days away. Foul, how fired up are you? Is it growing? Are you growing in excitement day after day?
I'm getting excited, man. We're right at 2 weeks. Ball's back. I'm ready to see some football, man. Regardless of Tennessee, like just the fact it's football season. We're gonna have college sports, NFL going. It's that time of year again, but more on topic here. I'm just excited to see how some of these battles play out. We got a lot of new faces on this team. We got a lot of new position changes, maybe just especially on offensive line. Guys sliding around, things like that. So I'm excited to see how those battles play out. And also, like, to see some of these young guys, man. We got a lot of freshmen, underclassmen, and to see how quick they can get on the field and how quick they can put a impact on this team. That's kind of the things I'm looking at for today.
Well, we got about 250 people watching live. We're going to recap the scrimmage. You guys know the deal by now. All the insiders, all the experts, they're putting out the information. We're going to break it down. We're going to go through it all. We're also going to see what you guys are up to. But help us out. Hit the thumbs up. Share out the link. Let somebody know that we're live. When you hit that little share button, you know what it does? It says Facebook. You can hit that. Boom, done. Twitter, you can hit that, boom, done. Instagram, you can hit that, boom, done. If you're like Foul Ming, there's probably some Snapchat and TikTok. You hit those, send it out. You can probably let Tom over at MySpace. That's more Coach J speed. Foul Ming's TikTok and Coach J's MySpace. That's what I think. But we're going to catch up with you guys in the chat. Landon dropped the $2 super chat, says GBO. Shout out, Landon. We appreciate you, brother. Tyler Harrison for $5 says, let's go, Vols. Brian Turner is here and says, Dorfy. GBO, thank you for the $5. Brian Gregory C for $2 says, cover charge. Vols by 50, GBO Vols fam, let's go. Todd's in the house for $2. Dorothy, greetings, Vol brethren, GBO. It's good to see you in the chat as always. Todd Boudreau, is that how you say that? Boudreau. That's how I say it. I don't know if it's right. For $10 ain't cheap. We appreciate that. It says Dorothy, what's good, Colt? Billy Todd for $2. Dorothy, ready for the season. Shout out Billy. Kevin Smith for 10. Says Dorothy, LFGBO. Do you know what that means? I know what GBO means. Go Big Orange. I don't know what that means. Let's freaking go, I guess. Lee Honda for $2. Larkin fee. Shout out Lee Honda. Appreciate you guys sneaking away from work to hang out with me, Coach, and Foul. Jeff Clabo for $5 says Dorfy. Wayniac also drops a $5 Dorfy. Shout out, Wayne. We appreciate you, brother. Marcus. That's Marcus. See, now I got yelled at. Wednesday night. Somebody said it is this channel's fault. No, that's not accurate. They're rolling out these new, what are they called? It's not names. I forget what they're called. You got to go update 2 different names, your profile name and something else on YouTube. That's why Marcus is VFLTX47. Sounds like a calculator, but we appreciate the $10, Marcus. He says Dorfy, LFG, and GBO. We got a new member in the house. Jacob becomes a member. Shout out, Jacob. If you're not a member, hit the join button. It's $1. It's $1. $1. That's it. $1. And you get to come hang out with Crazy Foul Ming on a Sunday night. Can't wait to get back and do that with you guys this coming Sunday. Corey Smith for 10 says Dorothy and a little extra so Foul can afford some sleeves. See, that's part of his gimmick. Maybe we should move that behind the paywall on Sunday nights. Wade Rouse for 5 says, sounds like Joey's QB1 after today. Tired of talking, ready for this team to prove everyone wrong. Going to be a good year, boys. Get ready, GBO. It is time. We've also got a 50. We'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Southern Center drops a 50 spot. $50 is not cheap. Top donation of the early stream. We appreciate you, Southern Center. And he doesn't even have something to say. Just drops a tip in the old tip jar. So shout out Southern Center. We got almost 300 watching live. Let's get into it, boys. Scrimmage number 2 is in the books. Foul early takeaways from this second scrimmage take place this morning.
Early on, I think it's just the fact that we got a little more confidence in the QB room, right? Hearing that all 3 guys look better. Might have helped it. We got Mike Matthews back out there. I think they opened up maybe the passing game a little bit more. Sounded like we took some more shots down the field. But just hearing, that all 3 guys look better, I think we can, our pets' heads aren't falling off this week. We can start to calm down a little bit. Wide receiver room looked good. We see what we have here. Amari Jefferson caught a couple deep balls. Joakim Dotson caught a TD from GMAC. GMAC continued to show out. Deshaun Brame looking good at the tight end position. Mike Matthews and Travis Smith both making some plays today. So I think all around, like, pass blocking looked better. We've continued to improve. It's one key note was quarterbacks had a little more time today. So that's promising. I like to hear that. Braylon Staley's still out, of course, with a hammy. I think we've got an illness floating around on the team. So Rad Jackson was out today. But just seeing that the passing game is taking some steps. The quarterback room is taking some steps. Sounds like Joey's got a little more confidence in the offense, a little more control coming out today. So I'll leave a little meat on the bone there for Coach. But those are the 2 first things I noticed today, just quick takeaways.
Coach, you were in the chat a couple of hours ago. I don't even know if the scrimmage. I don't know, because I've been up since 4 o'clock and drove 5 hours in that time frame. So I didn't know if the stream was or the scrimmage was over yet.
It
Or if
wasn't.
not, you just expected that the offense was going to win the day because that's typical for fall camp.
I
That's
mean,
what I
not
assumed you were doing.
yeah, not to be cynical, but I mean, these things just have a certain way that they go. It's just a natural course of football and how the game works. Your defense is going to come out of the gates quicker, and the offense, specifically when you're dealing with new things like centers, quarterbacks, that kind of thing, that's going to take a little bit longer. I think the best note of the day has to do with the offensive line and providing more time, guys. There are multiple different kinds of reads that you can run as a quarterback. Of course, the one that everyone's really familiar with, which is specific order reads, like i.e., read wide receiver 1, 2, 3, or 4, or in some kind of variation order that. Pure progression reads are, just getting the ball out quickly throughout your progressions, the quickest thing that opens up through your progression. But then the third type of read, the kind of reading that Tennessee's quarterbacks are demanded to do, is defender-based reads, right? So this is a read based on what the defender is giving you and opening it up throughout your progressions. This is why at times it can look like Hendon Hooker, Joe Milton, Nico, and it put any Josh Heupel quarterback into that sentence is staring down a receiver. They're actually staring down the defenders in the set, and that's why you kind of get that look. But we need time so that we can read our defenders in our system. It is huge, and if that clock gets sped up or they don't have the time to do that, it's going to affect our passing game always. So that's huge news for Coach Jay.
I saw Wayne asking in the chat what was going on with Eason and Don Bailey. I think I saw somebody say it was a stomach bug. Somebody said illness, and then somebody else came back and said stomach bug going around the defensive line room. So I don't know if there was anybody else other than them.
Jackson.
Rad Jackson had it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you're in the locker room. It is, it's going to get passed around, but you hopefully, get it out of the way 2 weeks ahead instead of like game week, so
right.
Hopefully it'll work its way through.
I just like hearing that the offense took a step, right? Not only they ran the football well again. It's not like the running game dropped off. They continued to run the football well, just like they did last week. Like you guys are touching on, the offensive line protecting better. Austin Price, VolQuest put on the General's quarters on his notes that Joey Aguilar had himself a day. We've been talking about how Joey's been stringing together good practices, continuing to get better. I know there's a lot of hype out there about George McIntyre and what his ceiling looks like, but Joey was the guy. Joey's always been the guy. Joey is going to be the guy. AB said that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when Josh Heupel announces him as the starter. You guys think, we've kind of kicked this around a few times. Val, you think he announces before the Syracuse game? Do you think he just goes ahead and gets it out there and then we're off to the races?
Unless he just thinks it's some kind of benefit for the team, like as if they don't already know. I think everybody already knows. So I'm leaning towards maybe game week, just week of. I don't think it'll be a game day decision. I don't think he'll drag it out quite that far, but I could definitely see it being like a game week decision.
What's your confidence level in Joey Aguilar? Because, and again, not to keep beating a dead horse, but, Foul Mink said it. Chris Brazzell practiced all week, didn't go through the scrimmage. Braylon Staley out, didn't go through the scrimmage. Mike's been limited. He had himself a day. Amari Jefferson caught a touchdown pass from Joey Aguilar. Maybe not a touchdown, but a deep shot. Timing and chemistry, coach. Timing and chemistry. Here we are. We're 2 weeks away, and Joey's still not out there with his 3 starting wide receivers, even though Chris Brazzell practiced. If you guys want to pick up a shirt, you can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS.
Watch that too.
What it says is you are muted, and there's a reason we sell that shirt. So if you want to grab it, go pick that up. Coach Shea, you were in fact muted.
I always have faith in California quarterbacks, specifically Danny Hernandez, system-based quarterbacks that we have gotten a little used to around here in Tennessee, I guess, the last season and now this season. So I have faith in them. I'm excited about them. Yes, you would like more time with them, and that wide receiver depth is going to be a thorn in our side all year, guys. It just is. It's going to be something to always worry about and be concerned about. So not only from a timing aspect you brought up, Boogie, but just in every aspect, from blocking. If you think about all the blocking our wide receivers got to do too, that's a really physical thing that they got to do as well. And you got to stay healthy through that. So it goes beyond just timing. It goes into, we talk about hitting and tackling on this channel a lot, and how if you're not hitting and tackling, you're not getting better at it. There's only one way to get better at it: contact, and that's to do it. Well, guess what? These wide receivers, not only are they not getting timing, they're not getting contact in their blocking right now, which is also a little bit troublesome. So we got to get these guys healthy and back on the field and ready to go. Otherwise, it's going to cause all sorts of problems, from timing to catching to blocking out there in space as well. And downfield.
I got to call an audible. I wanted to go talk about the offensive line, but I want to call an audible because you brought up hitting, you brought up contact, how important part of the game it is. I don't know if this is a regular Josh Heupel thing. I don't know if this is a Josh Heupel 2025 thing. I know it was a Butch Jones thing, and that's a problem, and that is they are not tackling. They did not tackle today. They didn't tackle in this scrimmage today. I saw it on the board from a guy that he says he's an insider. I believe him, because every time he's put out notes about these scrimmages, it's been dead on accurate. Once, Hubs and AP and these other guys start putting out their information, this guy's been pretty spot on with it. And he brought up that they were not tackling in this scrimmage. And then Hubs confirmed that later when he put out his notes and said a lot of thudding going on out there, not actual tackling. Coach, how much of that is that a problem? Do you have a problem with that?
I have a big problem with it, obviously. I do think it's super important. As a matter of fact, the most worried I get as a coach is when, leading up to a season, I don't hear plastic popping in practices. Like, there has been teams I've been on where I've been highly concerned. I've gone as far to even pull them in there and give them a what for, like, hey, pull your head out of your tails. Like, I need to hear plastic out there, guys. We're not racking like we need to rack out there, and you're not going to be ready. It's going to look sloppy when you first come out. Now, the coaches are in a little bit of a rock and a hard place, like with people in the wide receiver room. So I get that on the edges, maybe, but inside the box, I'd be letting them hit. It does concern me a little bit. And if their thinking is, all right, well, Syracuse, and who's next? ETSU.
Yes.
Game two. Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to blank there for a second. Is that going to be your ring up and time to hit and get going? Yeah, maybe they feel, hey, we've got a defense that's locked and loaded. We didn't need to re-recruit a defense. We reloaded a defense. We feel like they can hit and like to stick and feel good about it, but still, there is just no replacement for live contact in practice. It's needed, man. It's like peanut butter and jelly. It's like turkey and stuffing. It's like meth and stealing things, right? They go together, man. You've got to have them.
I didn't have that on my bingo card today. It's like MMA. I've never understood some of these guys, but they're fighting at elite level and they don't spar. How do you go through? How do you not spar? How do you not practice what you're doing? But Fowl, you give me your comments on that. But also, do either one of you know if this is a normal Heupel thing? And there's a hot and heavy debate going on in the chat right now. Nick Saban can win 7 natties without hitting in practice. I think it's important to hit in practice. Is this? I've never heard of this with Josh Heupel. I thought they always hit in practice. Go ahead, Fowl.
I don't remember this being a Heupel thing. I could have just maybe not paid attention to it in the past because we didn't have such a. I think this thin wide receiver room is really drawing attention to like injuries and precautionary things and stuff like that. Maybe we're just looking into it more than we normally do. But you take Saban, for example, very successful without contact. Then you take somebody like Kirby, very successful, but leans heavy into contact. What do they call it? Like a Bloody Tuesday or something, whatever their practice was. But you got a couple different contrasting, styles of play. But I think this one, you hear Heupel say all the time, it's like you got to play or plan year by year. And I think he's going by the roster he has based on the thin rooms that he does have. I think he's just trying to protect himself as much as he can because I'm with Coach. I want to hit. I think you got to have it. I think you practice like you play. But at the same time, we got to be realistic and just – we got what we got. So you got to protect these guys. We got to get through a long season, man, a long, tough SEC season. And as much as I agree with Coach and I want to hit, maybe they're making the right call here. And would you rather have that guy slightly rusty and be able to play, or not be able to play at all? And I don't know that it's, that cut and dry, but it could be. So I lean to agree with Coach, but I kind of see what Heupel's doing. And just to throw in there at the end, I think all the wide receivers should be back next week. I think all the 1, 2, and 3 should be playing together next week. I know it's kind of worrisome because it's the first time and we're this deep into practice, but it is what it is. That's where we're at right now.
Let me catch up with the chat real quick. We got a super chat from Nicholas for 2. Says, here's to my 3 amigos. Go Vols. Well, shout out, Nicholas. We appreciate you, brother. Donovan's in the house. What is up, my friend? Says 8-4 is the floor, no matter who the quarterback is. Who do y'all want to start at center? So over the boo drama. Hope him and his mom go to Colorado. I think Colton Hood is a massive pickup for this team. I agree. Colton Hood is going to be a dude. If Jamad McCoy's healthy, I think we've got the best corners in the country. Best three definitely in the country. 8-4 is the floor. Who do we want to start at center? Let's transition this thing into talking about the offensive line, because once again, shout out Foul Ming. Shout out Foul Ming for spotting those Sam Pendleton pictures and sending it to me. Said, he's playing center. It's like uniform photos. And Foul Ming's gearing up the conspiracy theory that Sam's jumping over to center. Guess who's jumping over to center? It's Sam Pendleton. He played center again today. Jesse Perry beside him at guard. It sounds like they played a lot of different combinations. Hey, man, I'm excited about this offensive line, and that's no secret. I've been saying it for months. I've been saying it since we got Wendell Moore Jr. and we got Sam Pendleton. I have been praising this offensive line. And why? Because you went and got Wendell Moore Jr. Where did he shine? Pass protection. You went and got Sam Pendleton. Where did he shine? Pass protection. Now you're hearing in scrimmage number 2 that Joey Aguilar actually had time to throw the football, and they were able to move the football through the air. I'm excited about this offensive line. Sam Pendleton's going to be your center. Is Jesse Perry going to be that dude at right guard? It certainly seems that way versus Sham.
Yeah, I personally think that Satterwhite's really smart, right? But I think he's got still a little, maybe just a touch of growing up to do. And when you got Sam right there right now, that old soul, really smart. I know Satterwhite's smart too, but I think he gives you the best 5 with Perry, because I think Perry's actually turned into a dude. I mean, we've talked to a couple recruits and they've mentioned bringing him along for zombie apocalypses and everything else. So you can tell he's respected amongst his peers, and the dude has awesome form when you watch him. So I think they really want to get Perry a spot on that line because he's earned it and he's proved it as he's an SEC starter. And I think, Pendleton might just be a little more SEC ready at center than Satterwhite is. So we want to get our best 5 on the field. And I think that's what Coach Ellerby's doing here.
Do you think it's physicality, Foul? Like that's going back to even spring camp. If Satterwhite was going to be the guy, it was physicality, which is kind of backwards because we talk a lot on here about the center and being the communication, the quarterback of the offensive line, and Satterwhite has it between the ears. Just a lack of physicality from everything that I've read.
I think it's more of an experience thing with Sam. I think it's going to be a guy who's been under fire before. He's been, had the shots fired at him and can stay calm and make the calls and not get rattled. I think that's just coming with age and experience. I think that's, I know that sounds simplistic, but I think that's really what it comes down to at the center position. I mean, if both guys have it, then what's the difference? Well, one's got more experience and one's been there, done that kind of a thing. You also got some younger guys who maybe don't have as much experience starting on your right side. So you need somebody who can guide those guys if need be in the extreme circumstances. When you get to the swamp, when you get to Alabama, things like that. I can't have a guy who's going to get rattled. And I don't know that Satterwhite would. I just know that I want the guy with the most experience in that seat when that comes. But we've also seen a lot today. They mix and match a lot. I think a lot of those guys are training several spots. I think we're pretty much set in stone. I think you've mentioned it, what our starting 5 is going to be. But I feel pretty confident that we have more depth there than we've had in the past. And a lot of athleticism there. And knock on whatever you want to knock on, they've been relatively healthy, or as healthy as an offensive line can be. I mean, everybody's going to be banged up inside the trenches there. But I think we're more healthy than we've been deeper than we've been, more athletic than we've been. So I've got nothing but high praise for that offensive line. And I wanted to throw one quick question, Coach, on that pass protection. If you got more time back there to throw, how does that affect an offense that uses so many option routes? Does that give you more time to kind of see what that wide receiver's decided to do? Because it seems like you're going to have a couple extra seconds to let him make a hard choice one way or the other to give you more confidence where he's going to be.
Yeah, not only that, but like I was touching on earlier, yes, 100% to answer your question. But not only that, like I mentioned, it gives you a chance to get that defender to commit, right? If I'm running an option route and I'm sprinting, 15 yards upfield, and that's where that option is going to take place. I'm either going to continue on my seam, I'm going to stem them on a post, or I'm going to come back on the route. Well, if I don't have time to get to that 15 yards and for my defender to commit to what he's doing, then I'm going to be just looking like I'm staring him down. And then all of a sudden I see this guy coming. Holy crap, run, get hit, I'm gone. Nothing has a chance to develop. That's been a problem when we've been pressured. Any year, right? Any year under Heupel, because it's just an issue.
The quarterback just making a guess there. If he doesn't have time to let him make his decision or let the DB commit, is he just kind of like trying to read it and give his best guess of what it's going to be? Like,
is he eating it and being accused of not being able to rip it and throw it in?
A couple things can happen there, right? You can have years under your belt, like Joey Aguilar, like Hendon Hooker, and have the intuition and read it a little bit before it happens, be it in front of the read.
Right.
That can happen, right? What should happen when that's not going to happen, right? When you're too young and you can't get that read that everyone's really famous for knowing under Nico, right? The Arkansas play. Well, what Nico did wrong there is he didn't have the foresight to see it in front of time. And as soon as that happened, it's either boom, run, which shouldn't have been an option in Arkansas, or boom, throw it up, or boom, check down. Usually it's that check down. I think it was the play before in the Arkansas game. It took too long. The pressure got there. And if he would have just hit that check down to Sampson, I believe they would have scored on that play before. So it just needs to be a quick decision. You never want to get stuck in a half decision in football. You want to be decisive and make strong decisions. So either you got to anticipate it, you got to bang run, or you got to hit your check down. In young quarterbacks, I prefer the check down first.
This super chat, this is like saying Coach J's name 3 times on an NCAA night. You start talking about option routes, Timothy McGee's going to drop a $2 super chat and say more timing routes, less option routes. When we're talking about option routes too, and having time to make that decision, how much chemistry goes into that too, Coach? Being on the same page. Your wide receiver has got to be on the same page as your quarterback. And again, you're not being out there on the practice field to make those mistakes in practice so you don't make them on game day, right? Let's be on the same page. If I make those mistakes, let it not be on game day. But again, we've not had all 3 wide receivers. I know I'm beating it to death, and I said I wasn't going to keep doing it, but I am going to keep doing it because it is concerning.
And trusting too, because as a quarterback, if you haven't seen that guy make the right read in practice all the time, you're going to want to see that extra step, that extra cheat step out of your wide receiver to know that he's done the right thing. Where in reality, the ball should be out by then, right? You should know that he's going to do the right thing, that he's going to be where he needs to be, and you're going to put it on the money. So yeah, if you don't trust that, if your timing's not together, you're going to want to take an extra even if it's a half second, full second, we can give you 3 seconds. Can we give you 4? I mean, that's starting to push asking a lot in a Southeastern Conference game. I mean, there's some big boy DNs out there in this conference, guys, and you can only hold them at bay so long, no matter how good your tackles are.
Well, I mean, look at the defensive line we're going against. I think we have one of the best in the country. So if we can make it happen here, we should be able to make it happen against almost anybody.
Right.
Iron sharpens iron. Let me get the super chat from good old Nate Pruitt. Drops a 10 spot. Says, cover charge, Boogie. Howdy, Coach Jay. Foul. Howdy, Vol fan. Been a minute since I've said this. God bless and go Vols. It is good to see good old Nate Pruitt in the chat. He's responsible for the T-shirt that says God bless and go Vols. If you wanted to grab one of those, you can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We also got these brand new TN themed merchandise. Simple, clean. I love this design. Kevin killed it, knocked it out of the park once again. Collaboration. Me, my youngest daughter, and Kevin put this thing together. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We got hats, t-shirts, hoodies, golf polos, quarter zips, a windbreaker. I'm going to have to pick one of those up. Also, coffee mugs. Hey, Coach, what's this shirt say?
You're muted.
Yeah, you can.
I wish I was muted when I tried to say that.
I mean,
but I wasn't.
You can grab that shirt right there. All kinds of great merchandise, though. Rivalry shirts, Buck Fama, FUGA, Gator Hater. If you don't like profanity, then we also just got beat Florida, beat Georgia, beat Bama. So go check it out. The links are in the descriptions below as well. Maybe we should give away a free shirt. We got 450 people watching live. Last scrimmage, we had 500 watching live. So let's set the bar high. Let's say 600. That's reachable. Usually I set it where you guys can't reach it just to trick you into sharing the link, but you guys always fall for it. But now I'm setting it where you can actually reach it, and that might be a problem. So we'll give away a free shirt. 600 people. Share out the link, hit the thumbs up, all that good stuff. Take it to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you get social with your media. Make it happen. 600 live viewers, we will give away a T. Let's give away a TN shirt. That's what I want to give away. Let's give away a TN shirt. Let's talk about Boo Carter. I forget who mentioned it in their super chat. Oh, it was Donovan. Donovan said, I'm sick of talking about Boo Carter. So Donovan dropped a $10 super chat. So let's talk about Boo Carter, even though he doesn't want to. He did get some run on defense today, Foul Ming, but it was with the third string. Do you see this as another step? We talked about him Wednesday night, and we're questioning, does he even finish this season? Is he here next year? A lot of drama with his mom. We're not going to go into that. But Boo's been late, at least to one practice since he's been back. Thoughts on Boo running with the threes? Is this a step back, or is this he found out what happens when you don't show up to practice?
I think you're dead on. I think it's just another step in the process. I mean, first we saw him completely shunned, put to the side, and then doing his whatever disciplinary things he had going on the first week. Then you see him kind of come back and start running some special teams, just returning punts and things like that. Now we're seeing him start to get some reps, but it's just with the third team. I think he'll continue as long as he's doing what he's supposed to do. And there's kind of a mixed bag of information there. I don't know exactly if he's doing 100% what he's supposed to do, but maybe that's leaning into wise with the threes. But just from an outside perspective, it looks like a natural progression to me. Like you would go from just disciplinary, then you're running your gassers, whatever you got going on. Then you go into just special teams, then you work your way back onto the field on defense. Now you're running with the third team. Be real interested next week to see where he's at, if he starts getting some more go. I don't know that you'll get back to the first string that quickly, but maybe that's some second half of game one kind of thing. I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm sure Coach has an exact plan of when and where he wants to insert him back into the team, as long as he's doing his part. So for me, it's just a natural progression.
Boogie, we were talking with Sal the other day about the greatest football movie of all time, called The Program. And there's a scene in there, where the Heisman Trophy quarterback Joe Kane says, the special thing, the magical thing about football is you can lose yourself in it, right? Like you get on there and the whole damn world disappears. I just hope that's what Boo starts doing, man. Just like let all the drama, let all the Tennessee fans, let what you did in the past, let what your mom's saying, let all the extra, right? Let any locker room altercations, anything that's been itching, scratching, bugging you in your life, let it disappear, man, and just focus on football and get that right. Like, if you can get that right and get that going, the rest will take care of itself out there. So I just hope Boo can go out there, line up, and let the rest of the world disappear and focus on what he needs to do on the football field. If not, all the BS will just swallow him.
Like Angry Titan said his mom should get off social media. Number one, I agree with that. Vol fans should stop engaging with it. I would say that too. Stop responding to her. Stop giving her the attention. Stop talking about it. Because when Boo Carter steps out on the field and he's got the power T on the side of his helmet, we're all pulling for him. We're all cheering for him. I said this when the drama was going on earlier. We need Boo Carter on this football team. We do. He's one of the best players on defense. He's electric on special teams. We're thin at wide receiver, and now Boo Carter's running with the threes on defense. He's not getting those offensive reps that we needed to have that extra body in the wide receiver room. So, by the way, got chills. I've never heard Coach nail a quote so accurate. That is directly from the movie. Foulming, your homework is to go watch the program. But until then, any other thoughts on Boo Carter?
I think Coach is exactly right. I mean, anybody who's ever suited up knows. Maybe on the sideline it's a little different, but as soon as you step on the field, all that noise goes away. I mean, you hear it, there's a roar there, but it just all fades away. You're in there with your brothers, you're in there with your team, and at the end of the day, I think we all want to see Boo be successful. I mean, and preferably in orange, but Boo's exciting to watch. Boo's fun to watch. He's an elite talent. We all just want to see him be successful, and we're all in Boo's corner. So for Boo's sake and the team's sake, I hope Coach is exactly right. The more you get involved in the team activities, the more you're playing, the more you're on the field and on the grass, let all that outside BS start to fade away and focus on ball and see how quickly he can bounce back into form.
Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready to and it hurts.
Let's talk ball amongst, social media nonsense.
We're not playing ball, right? Like we're practicing, we're scrimmaging. Once
practice.
The games get here,
talking about practice.
We talk about practice. Once we get to the games, this will fade and disappear. What do you got? Is it show and tell, Coach?
No, I was going to say, I got another program quote. I can read. You see that shoe? It says Adidas.
Oh, that's
Which I feel is kind of pertinent right now.
That's amazing.
Kind of pertinent.
Oh, I should have had that clip ready and roll it out when they made that announcement. That would have been an epic line. Oh, God, you got – I know you're 12 years old, but how have you not seen that movie? It's the greatest football movie ever.
Through the cracks. I mean, I really don't. I've seen. I feel like every football movie out there. That one slipped on me. But then I found out some pertinent information last night, and now y'all got me questioning it. I don't know. We got some SEC rival stadium going on. I don't know how I feel about that. But for your guys' sake, I'm gonna watch it.
It's Wolf Den Stadium. It's
Wolf Den Stadium.
Okay.
You gotta watch it. You got to watch it. All right, final thoughts as we tie a big fat bow, and then we're going to go listen to what Josh Heupel probably did not say in his media scrum after the scrimmage. A couple of names that popped up: Dwan Morris, Brent Hubbs. I think Brent Hubbs. No, it was another insider said Dwan Morris is going to be a nice little player here. I'm excited about him, his athleticism, his shiftiness, but also Desan Brame is a name that keeps getting mentioned as being a dude. Him and Jack Van Dorsey are going to be dudes. Ethan Davis, Miles Kitselman are going to be dudes. I keep throwing it out there and saying I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I'm going to keep beating the dead horse and talking about these wide receivers. Coach, how much can we lean on 12 personnel and take advantage of a pretty dang good tight end room?
A lot. You can always take advantage of being the bully on the football field. Always. But not to rewind a previous point, you know what you need to do to run that kind of personnel and be a bully? You need to hit in practice, right? You need to hit a lot in practice. So there's that. But someone mentioned in the chat, I'm sure they were hitting specifically when summer camp first started. Usually even on teams where you want to scale that back, you hit early and then start to wind it down. I will bring that up. But back to that point, yeah, I think they can lean on it a lot. This wide receiver room is really, really good. Now we got the whole chat started. I love it. This tight end room, not wide receiver room, I think is going to be really, really good. I think you can get in. I think you can bully. I think you can contract that defense and run over them, and then also run some nice kind of spread concepts with your tight end out of that tight formation. So I think it can be a huge, huge weapon for us this year. And I think you can also split wide out of it, right, pal? Like if you you could run Brame and Ethan Davis in there tight, and then split them out wide, and then run Deuce's stack if you want, really. Like you could do a lot out of it.
With their talent and athletic ability, I mean, no matter where you line them up necessarily, the routes you have, the options you have with them is extensive compared to most tight ends, right? They're good in space is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Like they can actually they had to learn more of the blocking downhill stuff, but they were already well versed in the wide receiver routes and things like that. But which brings me to the point I was going to bring up, because everything you said, I don't want to just rehash because I agree with everything you just said. can we bring back some of that creativity at the tight end position, right? Like how much I really think this, I mean, we all know it. It's no secret. This tight end room is one of the best kept secrets we have. I think they're going to show out this year. Everybody's bragged on them from spring till now. That's no big secret, but how much can we use them? How quickly can we get all those guys on the field, right? I mean, even in 12 personnel, we only can bring 2 of them at a time. Can we just get some more of that creativity? Can we move them around in the backfield? Can we, like you just said, can we split them out just a little bit? Like how much emphasis can we put on that? Because I really think that's a strength of ours, but if we don't use it, it really could go to waste here. I mean, it sounds like if they keep talking about Brame in practice and some of the other guys, they're obviously using them somehow. They're using them somewhere. They're showing out. So just as a fan perspective, I'm really curious and really excited to see how they use that room. Muted, Coach.
I mean, the guy owns the shirt. I'm going to make it
I just said agreed. I just said agreed.
Maybe I should start wearing the shirt. So he just sees it on me.
There you go.
Yeah.
A sign, a glowing sign. There you go.
Well, I don't want to like. I do agree. We do need to be more creative. 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. But sometimes I think we put too much emphasis on it. Sometimes I think keep it simple, stupid. If we executed last year, we're probably not having this conversation, right? If you throw the football, catch the football, and block, then we're probably not having this conversation. So if Joey Aguilar is getting more time. And something that I did like, and it's not really that creative, but attack the middle of the damn field. Use those tight ends to attack the middle of the field. And that's something we've heard is that they are attacking the middle of the field. Of course, we've heard all the rumors about them using the pistol formation. We've seen them motioning wide receivers, snapping the ball while they're in the backfield. And I think we're going to see some creativity. I hope we're going to see some creativity. Joey Halsley addressed it when he met with the media that they understand. What are we going to do when they drop 8? We got to figure out how to get creative when they drop 8 and stop allowing teams to do that. So I think they do need to be creative. I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because sometimes I think we beat that into the ground too much.
Well, and I agree. And I hesitated to say it that way, but that's just the best way to describe it because I'm not talking about necessarily the whole offense because we've heard that since 22. We want to get that creativity back. That's not the dead horse I'm trying to beat necessarily. I'm just wanting to utilize our best talent. And right now it sounds like some of our best talent is in the tight end room. And I just specifically with that room, I want to see some creativity just to get those guys on the field and get a ball in their hands, get a ball in space and see what they can do. I mean, all those guys have shown that they can play up to this point. So why not try to use that? And also, can that spare some of our wide receivers? Can we get some reps off of them? Can we get some wear and tear off of them? Like just that room specifically is what I'm kind of talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I like what Coach said. Like, you can come out 12 personnel, and Ethan Davis is, I don't know now that you got Deshaun Brame and Jack Van Dorselaer where he fits in, but he's one of the most athletic, best pass-catching tight ends on the team. Like, and I think Miles Kinsman's good.
Receiver.
Yeah. Like come out in 12 personnel, and then that gives you the opportunity to still go fast, but have more options available to you versus if you're out there with 2 true old school tight ends that you're not really going to throw to. It's like, well, you're just running the football and limited in your play calling.
And Coach knows more about this than me, but like force some of those linebackers to have to cover these guys. Find out if they're athletic enough to cover these guys in space. Because are there guys out there in the SEC that can do that? Absolutely, but it's not all of them. I can promise you that.
But that's what I think that Alex Golesh was so good at, was creating mismatches based on formations, motion. The Alabama game is just a blueprint of him creating the matchup that he wanted and exploiting it. And I think we do miss that. Sorry, Coach.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I do think that was a big part of it, was just that basketball mind state, right? Like moving the ball around until you get the favorable matchup that you want and then exploiting it. So I do certainly think that is a big part of it. And yeah, a little more creative is good, but at the end of the day, when teams are dropping 8, you got to be able to protect the quarterback and you got to be able to run out of the set. And that's as basic as it comes. Tight ends also need to catch the ball in the end zone. I thought we were really bad at that at the tight end position last year. But just a little more creativity out of it, I think would be really, really good. And I do agree, Fal, you can put a lot more pressure on teams' linebackers just to give them that little extra bit of space. We were really, really good at that in 21 and 22. Some of those big home runs
And the delayed route.
against Missouri come to mind. Those were kind of set up by the tight ends. So they certainly can use them in a lot of ways. The tight end's a really dangerous position. And how much play action will we see to the tight end also out of that personnel, I think is going to be an interesting factor as well.
Any final thoughts on fall camp before we move on and hear from Heupel?
I think that's pretty much covered the bases.
Yeah.
You got some topics we missed.
No, I think we're good. We're going to listen to Heupel. Let's catch a couple of super chats first. Tyler Harrison for another 5. Appreciate you, Tyler. I wish Tennessee had a rivalry trophy for one of their rivals. If they did, who do you think would be a good rival, and what should the trophy be? Well, it should be Kentucky, and it should be a beer barrel. That's what it should be.
Agreed.
Period. End of story. The beer barrel should have. I understand why it went away at the time, right? Drunk driving accident.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the players, I think players were involved in it. They got rid of it. I understand that at the time. You can't tell me that we can't have a beer barrel while you're selling beer in the stadium that you're playing in. Bring back the beer barrel, Tennessee, Kentucky. Any other thought? That's the only answer, right? That's the only answer.
And Uber exists now, so take advantage.
Yeah,
There
exactly. Exactly.
There you go.
Boudreaux says, nice water bottle, book. You got to hydrate.
Can we start a rivalry with Ole Miss and get a mustard bottle trophy?
That's perfect. That's perfect.
That would be great.
Or
That would be
golf
wonderful.
Golf ball.
Or the golf ball.
There you go. There you go. You
Tim
can have both.
for another 10 says, why I said the same thing about the tight end and use the running backs for slants to get rid of the sideline to sideline passing, because watch, it will end up a pick 6. I don't think you need to get rid of the sideline passing, because I think if you're truly exploiting the middle of the field, that just makes the sideline to sideline passing even better. Just don't be predictable. Mix it up. Move it around. You mentioned the halfbacks there. Man, can we please get a halfback screen? Is that so hard to do? Like, why can we not do that? Why can we not do that? I don't understand.
I agree.
Don't understand it.
I agree. And I get it. People get when you get frustrated with all the sideline passes is when we're not hitting downfield and deep, right? That's when you get upset about it. And when you're not hitting in the middle for substantial yards too. Yeah, we saw it in sprinkles last year. The Thornton touchdown in Oklahoma, Thornton touchdown against Vanderbilt. Even in moments, I think Chaz Nimrod dropped a wide open one in Kentucky that was frustrating. But those are made possible. Just it's that old new Rockney speech, right, guys? We're going to go inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, right? It just causes the defense to be constantly guessing. So you need a rhythm of it in some kind of fashion.
Right, like one sets up the other, right? But when you're not hitting that deep one, then all of a sudden it looks clunky, right? Like you're like, why are we wasting our time over here? Well, we set up this play and it was there. We just missed it. And that was a lot of last year. Like we had guys open, and it was either we missed it with a poor pass or we had a lot of drops too. So if you're not taking advantage of the play you're setting up, it does make it look like your setup's kind of futile there, right?
Exactly. And this is exactly, by the way, what got Lane Kiffin fired at USC was they were not able to hit exactly what we're talking about, the deep ball, the deep slants, the stuff like that. And all the fans out here were it was every complaint. Everything's bubble screen, everything's bubble screen, everything's sideline pass, everything's sideline pass, because they couldn't hit anything else. And it eventually caused their demise.
Does that cause you to worry more since we haven't had these receivers in practice as much? Does that make you more stressed that we're not going to improve in that area?
Sure. Yeah, it makes you nervous.
Talent outweigh just talent wins the day.
It makes you nervous, but we have wide receivers that are talented enough to get through it, right? Staley's talented enough to beat that. Mike Matthews talented enough. Brad Jackson. I mean, go down the line. Like really, the problem's not talent in the room; it's just depth.
I think. Just last quick point. I think it might end up helping us more than hurting us that we've got, say, like Brad Jackson and Travis Smith, all these extra reps. Maybe by the later mid-season, late season, this may actually end up being a blessing in disguise.
It could be right away. Ryan Williams was only 17 years old last year, pal.
How old? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they can step up.
Shout out Scoops. I texted him like 2 hours ago. He just now responded. I couldn't remember if he said he was coming on or not.
Yeah,
I thought he had to work.
today,
I thought he had to work. All right, let's take a listen to Josh Heupel's press conference. I'm sure we're going to get so much information from this, but this is what we do. Timothy for 10, it's because it's the only pass plays, no shorter intermediate. It's passing plays so deep and sideline to sideline. I get tired of that. No creativity.
I get it.
Don't disagree. All right, here we go.
Yeah, start by Coach Kurt and our ladies soccer team. Great way to start off the fall. Great win last night.
I love how he always does that, by the way.
For them and this season for them too. Great
Good
day
win.
inside of Neyland. Second scrimmage. Saw us take some strides just in how we operated both sides of the football, and special teams got good work there too. Still a couple weeks before kickoff, we got some growth that we got to go get before we go kick off. But excited about what I saw. Some back and forth during the course of it, and that's what you want at this time of the year. So open it up. Questions?
I will say this just real quick, Boogie, just real fast. I always look forward to the first Heupel pause moment as well. But that is what you want in a scrimmage, right? You don't want one side to blow out the other side. You want there to be back and forth. You want there to be fight. It's just not only is it good for morale, but it teaches teams to bite down and fight back and learn how to change momentum and throw punches, because things aren't going to go your way all the time on a football field. Momentum is a tricky mistress. She's going to switch to the other side, and you have to know how to take it back.
I know you haven't watched tape yet, but your thoughts on the quarterbacks today and really this week since the last scrimmage?
Yeah,
if there's any separation, sorry.
Yeah, I thought both of them handled themselves extremely well. George did as well.
That tells you right there is zero chance that George McIntyre is starting. The two quarterbacks. Oh, and George did good too, guys. Yeah, George did great.
I thought they've taken strides during the last three practices before we got inside of the stadium for today's scrimmage. We've operated with crowd noise and some of those mechanics as well, so there was more on their plate. They've handled it well, been good decision makers, and have continued to grow both in understanding of what we're doing, defensive structure, and then fundamentally, consistently being accurate with the football. Today, they handled that pretty well throughout the course of it.
Having missed the spring, are you surprised that how Deshaun Brame has performed through fall camp to be as active as he's been, to be making plays in scrimmages and 11-on-11 work during regular practice that like he's done to this point?
Yeah, it's tough for every player when you're out, challenging yourself and mentally being engaged just like you're taking every live rep. And I thought he got better, throughout the course of the spring in that, not getting work, but handling yourself like a pro. And, his growth during the summer, the game has slowed down for him just in the course of training camp, how we've operated, his ability to see signals, get lined up, handle tempo, handle everything that we're doing. And, he's made some plays, been really good out in space, and, should be a big part of what we do this fall.
Let me get a super chat real quick. Then I want to come back and talk about that. Tyler for another fives. I feel like everyone is talking about the quarterbacks and wide receivers, not enough about the halfbacks and tight ends. I feel like the halfback and tight end is strong. Let's go Vols. I've said it. I think Tennessee leads the conference in rushing for the third straight year. I think they're going to run the football. They're going to live running the football. Because the reason we're talking so much about the quarterbacks and the wide receivers is because we struggled there last year. And now through spring camp, we lose Nico. Now we go to fall camp, and we're hearing that we can't complete a pass and routes on air. We struggled in scrimmage 1. So that's the talking point, because we want to see it improve. He mentioned Deshaun Brame. So Deshaun Brame, was he an early enrollee but banged up during the spring? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay. So Peyton Lewis was the same way, Coach. Peyton Lewis was banged up during the spring, and then he bounced back, went through fall camp last year. Can that be good for a true freshman, a guy that was just playing high school football, and now you're not having to go through the physical grind, the physicality? You're not out there on the field, but you're sitting back taking, and this sounds like a Bush Jones thing, but mental reps. And Peyton Lewis talked about that. Said, I didn't have to worry about being out there practicing. I was able to soak it all in mentally, and he felt like he grew a lot by missing that first spring.
Yeah, it can be a big help to your the game in between your ears, your head game, right? So, and the great thing about it is Deshaun Brame is an absolute freak of nature athletically. So you don't really worry about him losing too much of that, being banged up, because he's always going to be a dude, right? He's on that first 10 off the bus list. He's just a dude, right? So I think it can be extremely helpful. And the quicker he picks up the game right here, the quicker you will be on the field as a freshman. And I think we're going to need at least one of these, freshman tight ends in spots. But spoiler alert, we got two really, really good ones, guys. So I'm excited about it. And I think the running backs are going to be a weapon out of the backfield too. Will we see more screen passes? I mean, I don't think they lend themselves well to the system that Heupel runs. And maybe we can debate that further in the future sometime. But I kind of feel like that in general. Not that there's not spots where it won't work, but just as an overarching kind of repetitive play, I don't know that I'm sold that I think it works well in his system.
If you see it, it might be more of like an RPO version, right? Like it's just kind of an
Right.
option off to the side, or delayed release from a tight end, maybe something like that.
It's just a lot of times you're running so spread out, Val. Usually when you run that, it's out of some kind of tight formation where out of a bunch where everyone's coming. And usually we're kind of spread out a lot. Once again, there's spots where it can work, right? Like when we're in 12 personnel and we're tied up. Yeah, I think we can sneak it in. Do I think we'll see like a heavy dose of it in multiple games? No, like where you see it 3 times a game type thing every game. I don't think you'll ever see that.
I think we ran it once the entire 2024 season.
Now, like if we ran it like 9 times this season, I think that'd be a nice starting point for the play, personally.
Yeah, and just quick, to reiterate what Coach just said, I think both those guys you mentioned are very physically gifted. So, like, that's not necessarily a worry. And, for example, like, I broke my leg my junior season and missed the majority of my junior season. So, getting that different perspective, I mean, obviously you don't want to miss any time, but getting that different perspective kind of changes everything. Because when you walk back on the field, you've seen it from the sideline versus seeing it on the field. And especially these guys are that talented. They've probably never spent time off the field. And I mean, I played much smaller ball, but like I was, always on offense, defense, multiple, special teams, things like that. You really don't come off the field a lot. So to get to sit back and watch plays develop and watching the defense or the opposing team, how they react to things, you can learn a lot just from being like even up in a box. Like you can go up and watch, which they're watching film, but I was watching from a box. But just getting that different perspective can actually advance your play tenfold sometimes. Just because you never thought of things that way or didn't see the whole play develop, you only saw your position develop.
Real quick, because I do want to address it in the chat. I 100% agree with you guys in the chat. I love really, really nicely ran pre-snap motion. I think it can create matchups, set things up well. Do I think this offensive line and offense have earned the right for a bunch of pre-snap motion with all their false start penalties on the road in recent years? No, I don't. So back to Boogie's point about executing the little things right first. Sometimes you got to be able to crawl before you walk and run. And I don't think we've crawled really well, at least on the road in that regard. So that's my only little note on it. It's not that I don't want it. I do. I just got to be able to execute those little things right first.
We got a 2 from Thin Orange Line. Appreciate you, brother. Says this is Joey's business trip. Yeah, well, I hope he makes the most of it. Let's hear more from Josh Heupel. Thank you for the super chat.
How would you evaluate Joey Aguilar's command of the offense if you could just give it the eyeball test?
I thought he handled himself extremely well. That's today. I think he's got better from day one up until today's scrimmage, really every single day. The comfort and control. He's handled himself extremely well during our night walkthroughs, which is, mental focus, mental sweat. And because of that, he's, extremely comfortable in what we're doing right now.
Josh, when you sort of look back through your career as a coach, your quarterbacks have never really thrown a lot of interceptions typically. And, you know, Joey's a guy who on film, at least at the places he's been before, has been very aggressive, and he takes some risky throws. How has that been sort of managing that sort of mentality that he's got with what y'all do?
You're going to have to make tight throws. You know, to me, interceptions happen when you don't understand defense structure. Your eyes aren't in the right spot. Fundamentally, your body's not in the right position. You're not accurate with the football. So it's all of those pieces of the puzzle that come together for a quarterback to operate efficiently, take care of the football while still playing on the right side of the fence of, you know, being aggressive and allowing yourself to make plays down the football field.
You know what else helps you to not throw interceptions? Not running for your life and trying to make a play because you're the only player and competitor on the entire football team. There is a reason that App State fired their head coach after the 2024 season. Joey was on an island. He had no protection. He had no help, and so he was trying to make plays. I get it. The 2023 season, when he set the record at App State for passing yards, set the record for passing touchdowns, 4th in the country in passing touchdowns that season. He also threw a lot of interceptions that year as well because he does try to force it into windows. But I think protection, if they keep Joey Aguilar clean, I think he's going to make some plays. I think he can throw the deep ball. I think he's going to connect on some deep balls. And I think we might surprise some people with the passing attack. It all starts with the offensive line.
Quick question, because I know you brought it up a couple times, Boog, or at least in past streams. You both said you want a consistent, safe, managing quarterback this season. Does that sound like Joey?
No, it doesn't. No,
I thought that was odd. That, I mean, we've all said we want Joey for the experience because we think he can come in, be safe, show his experience, and be consistent and kind of lead this offense. But at the same time, that is not his DNA as a quarterback at all. Not saying he's going to have a bunch of turnovers necessarily.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
his
saying
track
that does
record
not seem to fit his MO at all.
Everybody calls him a gunslinger for a reason because that's what he is.
It's exactly what you've not asked for.
I don't know that we have that guy on the roster. I don't know that we have that safe man. But I also wouldn't have said that that's what Nico was. But that's what Nico was for the most part last year. Like he managed the game.
Right, and not only that, there's going to be some give and take here. Heupel's system is not a system that gives up a lot of interceptions. Period. Right. So there's got to be some kind of balance, some kind of catch point, some kind of happy medium between slinging the rock, taking chances, and playing within the system. And I think if Joey does that, then Heupel's system will take care of some of those interceptions for him.
So you pack all that together, protection, better wide receivers, and Heupel's system.
Mm-hmm.
He may be Heupel's quarterback to throw the most interceptions, but maybe
like how many picks did Joey have last year?
Was it 13, 14?
14,
13?
I think. It was like 10 the year before and 14 last year, I think.
Yeah.
So give me 7, and I think we're fine.
Yeah. And how many plays do you make because he does force it into tight windows? How many plays does Mike Matthews go up and make? Chris Brazzell go up and make? Braylon Staley go up and make because he's willing to let it rip? I hope the pros outweigh the cons.
I'm not necessarily concerned about turnovers just yet. Let's wait and see what happens. Because it's kind of like he struggled, but we know his situation there, and Hop's not known to have put guys in bad positions before. I just thought that was interesting that exactly the quarterback we all wanted or we've said that we wanted for this season is exactly the opposite of what we're getting. But that doesn't mean it won't work. That just means like we were all trying to just take a safe bet.
Yeah. And how can our defense help that, right? Like even if, let's say, he cuts it down to 7 or 8 picks, if that defense can take a step forward, I mean, just rewinding in my mind, I can think of really, really big moments last year. The Will Brooks pick against NC State, the strip on the goal line against Florida when Florida was about to score, getting the ball back. There were multiple moments where our defense last year was put in a compromising point, and they were able to turn it into a win and give our offense another chance, and then we were able to get it done. That needs to be a theme this year again.
That brings up 2 points. Does Joey play differently knowing that he's got a defense that's going to give him more opportunities? He doesn't have to go out and score 50. And then last year, you take like Bama game and 40 games. We were in some of those tight spots, and the defense bailed us out. But if we just connected on some open passes, some open deep balls, whether it be the throw or the catch, we wouldn't even been in a tight game. We left a lot of points on the field.
Changes everything.
Yeah, the one thing I don't want to see is a multiple interception game. That can kill you. It killed us in 22 against Georgia. It's killed us at times whenever you have a game, where there's multiple turnovers. And then if you sprinkle in a fumble, it just becomes detrimental to the win.
Shout out to Roger Gerald. He's been a member for 33 months. We appreciate you, brother. If you're not a member, you can fix that. Hit the join button down below. Get that Power T beside your name. Come hang out with us on Sunday night. We're going to go live at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's behind a paywall. Only the family gets to hang out, the members of the channel. So hit that join button. It's $1. You get to come hang out and watch Val Ming act like an idiot. That's what we do on Sunday nights now. That's the new rule. Sorry. Let's hear more.
Josh, is this where we're at now? Is this sort of the end of camp and transition into game prep, or does that come a little later?
No, that will transition later for us. Still, have camp days.
What do you want to see out of whoever your starting quarterback is? What do you want to see out of the next 2 weeks to convince you or to make you comfortable with them going into the first game?
Yeah, again, at the end of the day, that guy's got to be able to manage the football. That's your sideline communication. It's play clock situations, game clock situations. We do a lot of work on that, controlling and your offense. It's the run game, it's the pass game, it's RPO, it's protections. You want to see those guys master it and take you out of negative plays and also put yourself in a position.
Don't run out of bounds.
To create big plays.
What do you think has changed the most for this team since day one of fall camp?
I think just growth and understanding of scheme. There's been growth in the fundamentals as well, but understanding the scheme.
Josh, how do you feel like your team has tackled these first two scrimmages, and have you all been pretty clean in terms of penalties?
I think we've gotten better throughout the course of training camp as far as penalties in all three phases. End of the day, I think playing smart football is really important, not having self-inflicted wounds. Tackling, I think our guys have done a good job. Today's scrimmage was stud for the first defense. We've had live periods, live scrimmage. We've done a lot of one-on-one tackling where you limit exposure of some of what's going on as well. So fundamentally, they've gotten themselves in really good positions. That's been a point of emphasis, even when you're not in a live tackle. Body position's key to going and finishing the play the way that you need to.
See, that's different than what Hub's put in his report. They didn't tackle for first-team defense and just for this scrimmage. Coach, you feel better about it knowing that it was just first-team defense and just for this scrimmage. So precautionary sounds like. And you could also buy a T-shirt if you wanted, Coach. He's earning that paycheck today.
I still want to hit, though, man. It's just the mean old cuss middle linebacker in my soul, Boogie. Like, I'm never going to want to pack things in. I'm always going to want to hit. Does it make me feel better? Yeah, because it means they're hitting more than I was led to believe a second ago. But I always want to hit, man. I always want to let my dogs loose on defense. But I get it.
Hop brings up a good point, too, getting full contact in individual drills. That way somebody doesn't get rolled up on or just an awkward landing on somebody else, things like that. If you're one-on-one making controlled tackles, like you're less likely to have some kind of a freak movement and somebody get blindsided or things like that.
Yeah, I feel way better about it. I agree with Coach, want to hit, but I was concerned. Now it's a big nothing.
You can also control, some drills are just conducive to causing injuries, like Oklahoma drills, angle pursuit tackling drills. There's certain things like that can cause a lot of injuries. Coaches, y'all know what they are. So just like you said, Val, set yourself up in your hitting drills to where you're not putting them in a precarious situation where they're gonna tear an MCL or do something weird.
I know you're not naming starters, but how comfortable do you feel with kind of who you believe is going to be able to help you now, and maybe guys who look at it still a ways away, and how much does this scrimmage kind of dictate that moving into the last 2 weeks? When you start talking about
quarterback,
well, I'm talking about in general, and when you start talking about reps and how you manage everything, how much does this scrimmage dictate sort of who's there and who's a ways away?
Well, the scrimmage gives you an indicator of where they're at today. You know, we're still, you know, two weeks away from kickoff. There can and needs to be a lot of growth from our entire team, not just young guys, here over the next 2 weeks. At the end of the day, players got to earn it, and you do that in how you operate and everything that we're doing. You know, walkthroughs, communication, all of it. And today's a great barometer of where we're at, but it also showcases where we got to get to, and you got to allow young guys to continue to grow, and that's really your entire football team too.
Yeah, it sounds like to me too that something. Shout out Pancakes and Bacon, by the way. Awesome guys. If you don't watch their show, definitely go check it out. I know Kyler was at the first scrimmage, and one thing he noted is something that you like to do during that first scrimmage is you'll run all kinds of weird groupings together that you normally wouldn't be doing, because you might want to see a 4 go against a 1 or a 2 go against a certain 3. Or if you think this guy's struggling with this, you put him against a guy who's really good at the converse of that. That's something you do in that first scrimmage, which is also conducive to the defense winning. And with more organized first team, second team, third team, you're going to get a lot different results in that regard too. So definitely bears mentioning.
Tyler with another 10. Appreciate you, Tyler. Says, what if we got the 22 offense and the 24 defense? And no one saw it coming. Lol, I think we need Joey more on the road than at home games, but no matter what, I'm a VFL. Let's go Vols, GBO. Appreciate you, Tyler. 22 offense with the 24 defense. We're going to make a run for a national championship.
Yeah.
Not saying we win it, but we're going to be in the mix for a national championship. I appreciate you, Tyler, being very generous today.
Just out of your passing game today and your receivers, who were some guys that stepped up and made some plays for you?
Yeah, thought we had a good day today. Held Chris. He's been practicing here the last couple of days, but he's done a good job in coming back. You know, Mike made some big plays down the football field. Tight ends were a part of it as well. You know, I thought early in the scrimmage in particular operated well offensively and moved the football.
Josh, what was your reaction to the coming switch to Adidas, and does that have potential to have a really big impact in recruiting down the road?
Yeah, you know, we're fortunate. You know, had a partner that wanted to make us their flagship school, and you know, that's going to happen in a lot of different ways, and going to be a benefit to, you know, our football program, but this athletic department as a whole too. And you know, they had an opportunity to come talk to some of our guys, and I think everybody's really excited. You know, that again, we're going to be the flagship school for them, and it's going to provide a lot of unique opportunities for our players on and off the field.
We don't have to go in depth to that. If you guys want to know what we thought about the Adidas deal, we did like 20-25 minutes on the Adidas deal, but I think it's going to be huge for recruiting, you know, current players, rev sharing, all that type of stuff, and then also recruiting at the high school level. Does it mean something for Tristan Keys? We'll see.
Did Boo get a little more involved on defense today, and where is he kind of in the process of working his way back?
Yeah, Boo was out there with us today and got work. End of the day, it's, you know, day to day, and you know, he's done some things in a good way here.
Yeah, how frustrated Coach got to be just at the whole situation that he has to answer that question every week for the rest of the season, all because you didn't want to show up. You know how mad he has to be.
Every time he's in front of a microphone, he's going to have to answer that question.
Yeah, we didn't get to get in, but I was just thinking like how mad he has. Look at his face. He's just like every week, and he has to. He knows it.
Yep. I love when he knows it's coming and he just kills it right out of the gate. He's like, I know you're going to ask about Boo Carter. I know you're going to ask about Nico. And then he just knocks it out and then moves on.
It'd be different if it's an injury or something, but the fact that he's like, I got to do this just because you didn't want to show up.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate
do you understand what you've created for me, the mess that you've created?
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's hilarious.
Has there been a report on who they've been popping into that star slot?
McCullough, I think.
Okay.
And Caleb Beasley too, I believe.
That's what
But I think McCullough's going to be the one that I could see him starting the Syracuse game at the star position. I wouldn't be surprised if Boo Carter suspended for the Syracuse game, to be honest.
The interesting thing would be if Ty could play corner and you could slide Hood over there.
See,
I don't know if that's going to happen, but
I don't think it's going to happen either. But I thought Hood would be a perfect fit for star. I thought.
I just think where it's his first time or first year here, I don't know how much. I don't know enough about it to know how interchangeable all the reads and things are. But if that's a natural fit to just slide over from corner without having to learn an entire different thing, I don't know. But I mean, they're just. I don't know that they'll use a freshman that early because I mean, once McCoy's back, it's not as much of an issue. But they've just talked a lot about Ty and how well he's played. Ty Redmond, that is.
Let me hit a couple of these real quick. Eric's been a member for 51 months. Says, what's up, everyone? GBO. Jason Brown's been a member for 35 months. Wayne says, fine, if you won't join the channel, I'll make you join the channel. He gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership. Shout out, Wayne. We appreciate that. Luke Thompson for 2 says, door fee / late fee. Appreciate you, Luke. Thank you for the super chat. Let's hear more from Josh Heupel.
Can you talk about your offensive line and maybe where you feel like they are, maybe compared to where the offensive line was a year ago? I know different guys, but just kind of like physically, do you feel like this group's further along? Like maybe like where's Lance at compared to last year, so on and so forth?
Yeah, Lance, I said it earlier in training camp, in a much better spot. What he's done with his body during the off season, but then, the opportunity to practice and prepare and get better every single day too. And I think that's going to afford him the opportunity to play his best football. And collectively as a group, I like the way that they've competed throughout the course of training camp. I think they've done a really nice job, communication and fundamentals on the pass pro side of it, and have been really good in the run game too. But it's a young group. Ultimately, 2 weeks from now, we got kickoff and she's for real. But believe in these guys that as a group, collectively, they're going to go play at a really high level.
Earlier in fall camp, Joey Hosley talked about how in the quarterback competition, you want somebody to go out there to be able to take it. And I'm not asking you to name any names, but are you seeing separation in the competition as you get closer to day one?
I like what all those guys have done. First, they've
come on. What are we doing?
in a positive way with each other in the meeting room. That's certainly been the case out on the practice field. I think this football team believes in that group of guys too. Who they are, how they lead, and how they compete every single day.
Josh, where is Jermod McCoy, his availability, what he's been able to do with you guys? Was he out there with you today?
He was not a part of the scrimmage. No, he's continuing his rehab, and I think you guys saw him out on the practice field with us a few days ago, and he's continuing on that journey.
How comfortable do you feel at running back? How competitive is that? And is that as deep as you've potentially been there in a while?
Probably as deep as we've been. Guys that have been here, been a part of it, have played extremely well. I think, Star's a completely different player than he was in the spring. What he's done with his body, his movement, fundamentals as well. And the two young guys continue to get better every single day. Did some really nice things in the scrimmage today. Some of our group work, working fundamentals, playing without the football. These guys have been continuing to grow too, which is a big part of playing that position.
I know all three guys are going to play, and I like all three guys. I think all three guys are extremely talented. But is Star Thomas going to be RB1? Is he going to be the first guy out there in the Syracuse game? It's certainly sounding that way.
I like so.
Okay. I feel like no. I mean, I'm not against it at all. I'm confident in the three guys. I really am. I think Lewis may have the highest ceiling, but I think Bishop's going to be your RB1.
See, I thought the whole time I said Peyton Lewis. I said Peyton Lewis is going to be the starter in 2025. Then they go get Star Thomas, and Coach J's so high on him that I'm like, well, he's the next freaking Heisman Trophy winner. He's going to win the Heisman at Tennessee. And then you hear in the spring it's all Deshaun Bishop. So I'm like, Deshaun Bishop's going to be the guy. But you know what? That means we got three dudes.
That's a great problem to have.
Three dudes in that room.
Yeah,
and it sounds like the freshmen are holding their own at the very least.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hearing that Morris is looking like a dude too. Yeah, it's like you said, Foul. It's a good problem to have.
Then that highlight I sent you was Baker showing out
Yep,
in the
yep.
last scrimmage. So
Mhm. Yeah, I'm just not concerned about that room at all.
Sean Clabo has been a member for 22 months. Appreciate you, Sean. All right, here we go. Last
Watching your
question.
experience recruiting, have you come across a recruit where the apparel brand, what was the determining factor in their decision?
Man, not of recent memory.
Good Lord.
Think, as recruits look at, who we have partnered with and the opportunities that's going to provide our players
Hold
on
on.
and off the field.
Hold
I
on.
think it's going to be a strong showing and something that will be really inviting to them.
That was a bait question. That was a bait question. Because if you were on Twitter when all that information came out about the Adidas deal, Swain was going ham. He was going ham on people, basically saying, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. The Adidas deal's good. He's talking about Nike don't want you. And it's like, my timeline was flooded. That is 100% Ben McKee saying, this is confirmation that Swain was right and you were wrong. Sit down and shut up and stop tweeting. That's 100% what that question was about. Did you all see any of that?
yeah, Swain's been on it for about 2 weeks now, but he ramped it up this week for sure.
Yeah, he was sick and tired of it.
But he also wore it, so he wore Adidas, I think, when he was here. So he's kind of partial. But did you get to see that little graphic I sent you about we're the highest paid in the SEC at this point?
That's good. That's awesome.
Apparel. I mean, by a pretty good margin, because it was showing the majority of SEC schools are Nike, but Nike was giving like mid-high, like single digit millions, and it's showing now. All this is speculative because I don't know that we've seen, but everything's showing us at like 20 million. And I mean, you can go down that list, and it wasn't even close.
Well, I mean, just from our perspective, right? What was it, 5 with Nike, and now it's 20?
Yeah,
$15 million. Come on.
But if you look at some of those schools, I mean, these are blue blood schools that wasn't getting much more than we were. I mean, it's like 8, 7, 8, 9. I mean, there was plenty in the middle, but it dropped off quickly.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for this. We're going to tie a big fat bow on scrimmage number 2. We're going to be live Sunday night. That's your night. If you're a member, if you got a power T beside your name, you're going to get an opportunity to come on and talk about this scrimmage, talk about the quarterback competition, talk about how much you hate Adidas. We welcome it here. We don't yell at you and say you can't say that. You can say it right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Tuesday, the number 1 running back in the country comes off the board. It's Tennessee and it's Michigan. We're going to cover that live right here on the channel. Depending on what time, we'll probably still roll out the EA Sports College Football stream at 6:30. I'll do it a little bit later. I may do 2 streams in one day. We will see. But make sure you're subscribed. Click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out if we do 2 streams in one day. Also, go support the merchandise. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. All the links to support this channel and this community are in the description below. But that is going to do it for this one. For Coach Jay, for Foul Ming, my name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
That we charge.